Greetings to all of humanity. It's really joy and a pleasure to be out in nature and greeting you. Bring this message of self-realization to you, pointing you to look inwardly to discover your true identity, to be your divinity, and that you must use your thoughts to create your reality consciously. Therefore, I want to speak to you concerning our ancestor, Abdullah, and how he taught Neville Goddard to use his mind to achieve his every desire. But most specifically, I want to talk about how he taught him that there is no condemnation. In other words, there is no guilt and no shame. So basically, we are not to live our life in guilt and shame or condemnation. Okay? Now, each and every one of us born in this world, and when we're born in this world, we're born without guilt, without condemnation, and without shame. But the way how the society has been put together, it's been put in a way, or the system of society, I should say, certain system have been put in place to bring shame, guilt, but most of all to bring fear upon us. And out of fear comes the guilt and the shame. So instead of we vibrating under the energy of love, they have us vibrating under the energy of fear. And when we vibrate under the energy of fear, we will also vibrate under the energy of guilt, shame, competition, and all of these things. So instead of we create, we will end up and compete. And instead of we accept life on the basis of everything is built upon law, and that humanity is governed by certain laws and the universe is governed by certain laws, we are more caught up in feeling guilt and shame and using our emotion in the wrong direction. So here, Abdullah was teaching Neville that when he would have experienced that the power is within and that God and man are one, that he would change his thinking and he would realize that everything that was taught to him from a child was a lie. And so Abdullah told him that when you get to Barbados without no money, without knowing how you're going to get to Barbados, but learning to trust your imagination and learning to fall asleep in your mother home, in your imagination while living in New York. When you put these things to work and you prove for yourself, he said to Neville, he said you will do things that you never do before. He said you will drink, you will smoke, you will have sex, you will do all of these things because you will come to realize that guilt, shame, condemnation, all of these things, they are negative vibration. Because you will come to realize that your brain is a receiver and a transmitter of frequency. And that you are responsible for your circumstances. Because your thought is what is creating your reality. Therefore, you can change your circumstances. Therefore, you can shape your world the way you want it to be. And you will discover that you are the creator, Lord and master of your destiny. Now, when you come to realize that you are the creator and you can create your life consciously based on your thoughts, then you would most likely want to think upon the things that you want and not the things that you don't want. Therefore, you will come to realize that guilt and shame and condemnation is fighting against your own self. It's going against your own self. It's bringing self-doubt into your life. It is destructive energy instead of constructive energy. So the energy or the one power could use destructively or creatively. So my brother and my sister, I'm encouraging you as Abdullah encouraged Neville to use the power creatively. To use the power to help all of humanity. To use the power to uplift humanity. To use the power to teach others to look inwardly. And to teach others that they can create their reality consciously. So my brother and my sisters, the reason why I bring this message to you is because every religion in this world brings condemnation. Every religion in this world brings shame and guilt upon you. They tell you about adultery. They tell you about fornication. They tell you about lying. They tell you about stealing. And they use the Bible as a book whereby you try to attain works. Instead of using it to teach you, it's all about grace. It's all about unmerited favor. It's all about unconditional love. And you're supposed to all be under the love energy. That's the reason why, my brother and my sisters, Abdullah operate that love energy to teach Neville Goddard how he can create his own reality consciously and teach humanity to do the same. So my brother and my sisters, the energy that I'm sending out to you right now is the same energy that Abdullah used to teach Neville Goddard to get rid of condemnation, to get rid of doubt and fear. And to see every day in my life when I look around at people in my country who are so trapped in Christianity and how they're using the energy to keep themselves in mental slavery. It's not an easy thing to deal with when you live in a country and 99.99% of the people are bound in religion and in condemnation and doubt and fear. That's the reason why 99.99% of the entrepreneurs in our country is not from our country. There are other people employing us. That's the reason why, my brother and my sisters, most likely people who looks like me, if you go in their community, you see all the other races providing them a commodity instead of them providing each other certain commodity. And it's all have to do with their mentality. So my brother and my sisters, my encouragement to you is to accept the fact that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically, that it is not literal, neither is it secular history. That's the reason why I want to thank Abdullah for teaching Neville Goddard this lesson that there is no condemnation. So with that being said, my brother and my sister, I want to thank you very much. And if you haven't started following me on Instagram, I'm encouraging you to follow me on Instagram and at Black Mad Guru, and also to check out my new website, blackmadguru.com. And always remember that this message that I bring to you is a single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 tells, if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And Abdullah was transmitting this light to Neville Goddard by letting him know that there is no condemnation. That's the reason why I always put my hand on my crown chakra, because when you bust your crown chakra, you will come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that is the dawning of a new day in your life, and that without the sun, there is no life and there is no light, and without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made, and that the sun parallels the human imagination and the human imagination parallels the sun. Therefore, we have to live our life without condemnation. All we need to do is believe in our solar power or our mind power and use it to create our every desire. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.